The sciences that are dependent on statistics face a massive problem, which is making sense of all the different studies and analyses that are out there. Take psychology as an example. Psychology research is focused on understanding the mechanisms of the human mind, with the ideal goal of forming a complete, unified understanding of how it works. But this isn't what the research currently looks like. Instead of having a comprehensive theory, we have many different studies. Each study looks at a different individual phenomenon of the human mind. This begs the question, can these individual phenomena be combined into a comprehensive theory? Let's take a closer look at the studies. We see that there are some studies that are identical or almost identical to each other, allowing us to combine them with a meta-analysis. All the remaining studies, however, cannot be combined in any way. There is just no way of dealing with all the discrepancies and differences. So, instead of having a neat and compact comprehensive theory, we are forced to work through hundreds of different studies. This is an overwhelming task. In practice, most review papers therefore only focus on the work from the last 15 or 20 years and ignore the decades of valuable work that had been done before, resulting in huge amounts of research being lost over time. And when we start working through all the research, we quickly notice that there are many studies that contradict each other. The one study might show an effect to exist, and another shows it not to exist or to work differently. These contradictory results are all over the place. This is obviously a massive problem. We are left with a big pile of disjoint and partially contradictory findings, making it mostly impossible to draw reliable conclusions. To summarize the problems we've seen, current statistical analyses leave us without a cohesive model, which means that most of the time we cannot make any clear predictions. And it involves a lot of work to try to make sense of this confusing patchwork. Due to the sheer number of analyses, vast amounts of research are lost to the tides of time. And there are many contradictory insights, making us more confused than we were before. Fortunately, Tree of Knowledge can solve all of these problems. Seen from Tree of Knowledge's perspective, all the different studies about the human mind are fantastic data sources. All of these datasets can be uploaded to Tree of Knowledge, where they will be used for training a single comprehensive theory of the human mind. As mentioned in other videos, this comprehensive model of the mind is automatically trained on all the uploaded datasets simultaneously. Now, this universal model is a cohesive theory which allows you to make clear predictions for any scenario. Also, having all studies combined into a single model like this frees us from having to work through all of these different analyses. Another point is that once a dataset has been uploaded and integrated in Tree of Knowledge, no further manual work is required. The platform automatically uses this dataset to help train and evaluate not only the current model of the human mind, but all future ones as well, without requiring any further work. This applies to all of the uploaded datasets. The software will continue to use all of them indefinitely to automatically train and evaluate increasingly accurate models of the human mind. So, currently, many studies are lost due to the extensive work required of including them. Tree of Knowledge puts an end to this. Once studies have been uploaded and integrated into Tree of Knowledge, they continue to inform and shape our understanding of the human mind, automatically and indefinitely, without any extra work. This allows our research studies to have a valuable and lasting impact. Now, coming to the last point. The contradictory insights we mentioned earlier are in fact a symptom of what might be the biggest problem with statistics: the lack of falsifiability of statistical findings. and the resulting lack of progress in statistics-based fields. We'll look at these 2 points in turn, starting with the lack of falsifiability. If we take a closer look at the contradictory results mentioned earlier, we realize that each of these findings was derived from a different dataset. There is no way for us to compare these insights as they were generated independently from different datasets. We therefore cannot declare one of these insights to be best and dismiss the others. As we never dismiss any of the insights, the pile just grows. Not only is this pile of insights confusing, it is also questionable how much scientific progress we are making by accumulating partially contradictory insights in this way. This was the central thesis of the philosopher Karl Popper. He argued that the simple accumulation of findings does not constitute scientific progress. According to him, progress can only come from falsifying the bad insights, leaving us with increasingly good ones, i.e., leaving us with an increasingly accurate depiction of reality. Karl Popper would have called the simple accumulation of partially contradictory insights not progress. This is the big problem with statistics I was referring to earlier. Accumulating statistical findings doesn't by itself lead to better models and doesn't count as scientific progress according to Popper's definition. Fortunately, Tree of Knowledge has a solution to this problem and is able to make real, genuine progress. In Tree of Knowledge, there is only one model, a single model that fits all datasets. Having just the one model makes things much simpler and clearer. But it doesn't stop there. We can try out an alternative model by, for example, modifying the rules concerning self-discipline and adding a new rule. This new model is automatically trained and evaluated on all datasets. The result of the evaluation is a score that quantifies the model's accuracy, i.e., the score captures how closely the new model mimics the behavior of the real people captured in all these different datasets. We can then compare this accuracy score to that of the previous model. By comparing the accuracy scores, we see which of these models performs better, i.e., which model behaves overall more like the real people did. The evaluation was so rigorous that we can confidently falsify the worst model and only keep the better one. Through this process of trying out different models and only keeping the better ones, the model keeps improving. This is real, lasting progress according to Karl Popper's definition. Furthermore, being trained and evaluated on such a wide variety of datasets only helps with this process. The datasets provide a diverse collection of constraints that the model must satisfy. This quantity and richness of information allows the model to continue improving for a long time and get really good. In summary, this new statistics framework allows us to move away from a mode of doing low-powered ad hoc investigations to a mode of creating and rigorously evaluating a universal theory. For one, this allows us to get a single cohesive model, which is much clearer and saves us the work of having to interpret many disjoint findings. Next, unlike statistical analyses that are often forgotten over time, any study uploaded to this new framework continues to contribute to the model's refinement, ensuring a lasting and meaningful impact. Lastly, and most importantly, this new framework allows us to falsify the weaker models and enables us to make real scientific progress according to Karl Popper's definition. This process will arrive at a model that is far, far better than what we get by adding more insights to the already existing ones. These are just some of the reasons why we believe that scientific theory building will have a great impact on the future of science.